Did you know that tanks used to have their own DPS stances? Before Shadowbringers, tank stances would offer more enmity and more defense in exchange for dealing less damage. However, they had another option. DPS stances would allow the tank to push more damage wherever needed at the cost of less mitigation and less enmity. In A Realm Reborn, Paladins had Sword Oath. It was a very simple stance in which it added 25 potency onto their auto attacks. Warriors did not receive a tank stance until Heavensward. Their stance was called Deliverance. In this stance, warriors would have their damage increased by 5%, and certain abilities would change to more damaging versions of that ability. Inner Beast in Defiance would change to Felcleave in Deliverance, and Steel Cyclone in Defiance would change to Decimate in Deliverance. Dark Knights had Dark Side, which would increase their damage by 15%, but in exchange, MP would slowly be drained, and MP refresh would not work. Dark Knights were also unique in that their DPS stance could actually be used with their tank stance. And so a lot of the game plan for tanks would be establishing aggro in tank stance, then switching to DPS stance in order to assist better in damage. However, in Shadowbringers, these DPS stances would be removed as tank stances would no longer have a damage penalty tied to it. Tanks would also see a rework into their DPS abilities as well. Sword Oath was now a trait that allowed access to Atonement. Felcleave and Decimate are now upgrades from Inner Beast and Steel Cyclone. And Darkside is now granted when using one of these abilities.